we detected 13,500 unusual options on Nvidia today, August 21, when it rallied 8%. And as you can see, earnings is coming up in just 2 days on August 23rd, after hours. And so in this video, we will analyze what these unusual option activity could mean for Nvidia stock for the upcoming earnings, and also another set of unusual options that we detected as well for Nvidia. So without further ado, let's get right to the big one here, 13,500. This is for the September 1st, 11 days away. And you can see the strike prices here. The call side, 13,500, much greater than the open interest of 56. So we know these are opening trades. On the put side as well, open interest is only 1,100. So this is less than the 13,500. Okay, we believe at this strike price, they were selling the 360 calls and buying the 360 puts. And when you analyze this trade, this is a short bearish position. You can see the Greeks here, negative 103 delta. Okay, and keep in mind though that this investor could have underlying stock and they're hedging their position simply because they do not necessarily feel as comfortable going into earnings. Okay, so the value of the trade is also very important, because to sell a call here, one of these options in this trade strategy is a synthetic short position, requires about $20,000. Okay, we have a quick way of calculating the buying power. If you're interested in that, we will put a link at the top here. If you have info cards turned on, you can check that out. Here is actually the menu buying power. It's a very easy way to do that, to look that up. But for the 360s, we have already checked that out as 20,000. And since they did 13,500 of these contracts, this trade was $270 million of buying power required. So this is definitely a large institutional investor who is either hedging their position or simply shorting Nvidia. Okay, the hedge looks something like this. For example, if they have shares of Nvidia, you can see that by putting their shares, 100 shares of stock equals how much they are able to control with one contract. You can see here that the flat blue line at expiration is essentially why they are using options. If Nvidia at 471 goes down on the x-axis or goes up in price, right? This is the price of Nvidia on the x-axis. You see that the blue line is flat. It's fixed. The profit is fixed and the loss is fixed. All right? It doesn't change essentially as you move up or down. Okay, and that is what essentially what they're doing. And you can see here, if we move the expiration date to earnings, right? Let's say it's August 23rd now. That's when earnings report. So the next day will be August 24th, right? So something like this, you could see that if Nvidia goes up, they'll simply not be at a much of a loss here, right? Depending on, it currently says negative 133 because of the stock price that we have here, but we don't know exactly what price they bought their stock for. For example, if they had bought it for 169, which was close to the closing price today, then you could see here that the blue line now shows a positive 145, right? So don't get confused and think like it's a late loss there. Okay, this all kind of depends on how much their stock was when they bought it at. The key thing here to look at is the flat line here, and also this purple line going up, because what that's saying is in the short term, on August 24, if Nvidia does drop, this strategy simply allows them to profit from that. You can see that the profit on the purple line actually goes up if it goes down, right? And so they're hedged to the upside. If Nvidia rallies, they will not be at a loss. If it drops considerably, they could be potentially making quite a lot. You can see that for every contract that they have. This is only one contract here. So they could be doing 13, they have 13,000. So that's quite a lot, right, if it drops. So this is why they picked this strike price of 360 to get the right type of Greeks in their favor, volatility and leverage to achieve this kind of profit loss profile that is advantageous. Okay, so this is how the professionals trade. Okay, now let's take a look at the other unusual options here. The 470 here is at the money, and we detected 2,000 of these. It's not just 1,000, there was more than that. Okay, you can see here another 750 here, and over down as we scroll down, we could see some more. Let's see here. Here's the 250 here, right? So 750 plus 250, another 1,000 there. Okay, so there was 2,000 at this November 17. And these at the monies are also telling us something as well. So you can see here 2,000 volume, open interest 3,000, could be closing. However, when we take a look at the put side, 1,698, less than 2,000. So we know the put side is opening, and the chance of the call side being opening is also much higher now, because these calls and puts are usually done together as a synthetic. And so this trade, we believe they are also selling the 470 calls and buying the 470 puts. And when you analyze this trade, you can see here, this is what it looks like too. It's also a bearish position. Okay, and because this is only 2,000 contracts, it has less value, but it is still substantial. And if you add the stocks into it, you can also see that how the profit loss diagram looks here. So on the purple line, you can see that actually it starts off lower, right, at 266, right? And there is, but if they were to let it expire in November 17, the profit is fixed at 692, right? wherever we move the mouse down on Nvidia stock on the x-axis or up, you can see that the profit on the blue line is fixed at 692, which is the premium they get to keep for doing this synthetic trade. And that's why they're doing this trade. Okay? That they rather collect 692 during using the volatility right before earnings to profit than to try to profit from a stock rally. They don't think that the rally in Nvidia will give them more than what they could be making by selling and buying options using these synthetic strategies here. Okay? So this is why these trades were being done. This is how the professional hedge funds trade. Okay? So, what do you think is going to happen to Nvidia for earnings? Please comment below. In just 2 days, do you think Nvidia will go down or will it go up?